Hi everyone, welcome to watergoddesstarot. So today we are looking into why are you God's favorite child? For the same we have three options, three images to choose from. I'll show you the close-ups as well. This is pile number 1. This is pile number 2. And this is pile number 3. You can pause the video, take your time and choose the image that you feel drawn to the most intuitively. Meanwhile, let's just begin with pile number 1. Hi pile number 1, welcome to your reading. So let's just figure out as to why are you God's favorite child. For you we have Uranus, that says freedom, death in reverse, boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? Ivy, be still, and here we have strength. Okay. You are God's favorite child because you are a fighter. There is this essence of stubbornness to your personality where you don't give up very easily. Now sometimes this works in your favor and sometimes this even works against you because you might not be very good with changes, though you are somebody who you love your freedom, you love to explore, you love to try new things. But if there's something that you're comfortable with or an environment that you're comfortable in, it gets a bit difficult for you to leave that space because it becomes your comfort zone. Okay, now why God loves you is that even when you're faced with challenges, you do not give up in the first go itself. You always choose to give your 100%. You always fight back. And this stubborn energy, this energy of I want it at any cost. I mean, this is why God loves you. I don't know why. This can sometimes again work against you also because you have to be adaptable enough to kind of adjust to your circumstances, or there has to be that ability to let things be so that what is meant for you can enter into your life. But before all of this happens, before any kind of shakeup happens, you are that one person who's going to fight till the end. You get it or you don't is something else, but you are very stubborn with what you love, with who you love, with what you want. I mean, with your goals, with your people, you give it your all. And this is why you're God's favorite child, because you have that spirit to you, because you have that attitude that I gotta do it. I gotta do it for myself. I gotta do it because I want it. Okay, God really loves when you are smiling amidst challenges. God really adores you when you are trying to kind of just give your all. There is this energy to you that is full of fire. That is, you have that stubbornness of a child, I would say. Even if the child is not well, but still that particular child might demand for an ice cream. Okay, now the mother knows that ice cream is not good for the child, but the child is like, no, I want to have that ice cream whatsoever. I want it. The child is going to start throwing tantrums. The child is going to start crying. The child is going to do every single thing or nuance that's possible in order to have that ice cream because that child really wants it. It doesn't really matter if the child is going to regret having that ice cream later on. But if the child wants it, the child is going to do everything that's possible to have that ice cream. You are like that child. And God really loves this quality about you. I mean, again and again, I'm saying that this might work against you also. But then this is a very cutesy kind of a thing about you that makes you God's favorite child, okay? You treat God as somebody who is going to listen to you. You treat God as a friend, as a parent, as somebody that you can depend on. And God really likes when you kind of demand, when you ask for things, when you're very adamant when it comes to whatever you want out of life. God really, really, really adores that, okay? God finds it very cute. You are God's favorite child because you are a very freedom-loving kind of a person. You cannot be tamed. You are free-spirited. You want to live your life on your terms. You want to explore life. You want to just breathe. You want to exist in a way where nobody is trying to control you. And when I say nobody, I'm not just talking about people. I'm also talking about your circumstances, the situations that you often find yourself in. You do not like to be told what to do. You do not like, people expecting a particular outcome out of you or a particular behavior out of you, because you are a very free-flowing kind of an energy. And it is your ability to fly, your ability to dream big, that makes you who you are. And this is what makes you God's favorite child. You listen to everybody, but in the end, you always kind of do what feels right to you. You are not here to follow the crowd. You're not here to have that, herd mentality. No. You have your opinions. You have your viewpoints. You are your own person. You are an individual. There is this individuality to you. Okay? And God really loves that. What makes you God's favorite child is that you do not waste your time. Okay? No matter how aggressive or stubborn you are when it comes to what you want out of life, you at the same time are very, very intellectual and intuitive as well. Okay? You know what's going to work out for you, and you know what is not going to work out for you. You know where to draw boundaries. You know where to kind of, provide that leverage. So you have a very good judgment when it comes to people, when it comes to situations, when it comes to any kind of a circumstance that you're in. And this has probably happened because of the past experiences that you've had in your life. And you have matured over time. No matter how childlike you act in front of God, no matter how stubborn you act in certain situations, your ability to expand, you being able to say no without feeling guilty about it, you leaving people, places, jobs, or anything that is not working out for you, or something that has served your purpose. I mean, if on an emotional level you feel something or somebody has served its time or their time in your life, you're not afraid of leaving people or places behind. And this is what God loves about you. This is what makes you God's favorite child. That you don't waste your time. You don't waste your emotions. There was a time when you were a people pleaser. There was a time when you used to overextend yourself. But over time, things have changed. Over time, you've learned your lessons. Now maybe you've reached that stage in your life where you fight for what you want, where you demand or you ask God that, give me this. But you might also add that give it to me only if it is for my highest good. And this is what makes you God's favorite child. Because now you've come to this realization that God knows better, or God knows what's for your highest good. You are in no mood to kind of, attract more lessons into your life. So there is this beautiful, calm, serene, mature energy that is surrounding you at this point of time, where you are okay in going with the flow, where you're okay in, just people coming and going out of your life. You are not going to settle for less. You are not going to overextend yourself. You are not going to allow anybody to take undue advantage of you, your emotions, or whatever you can do for them. So because you have better boundaries now, you feel better about yourself. And because you've managed to have those boundaries, because you've managed to create that switch from you being a yes man or a woman to you being somebody who is very upfront, who is vocal, who is opinionated, who has a stance of their own. I mean, it's commendable. And this is what makes you God's favorite child, because you are evolving with time. You're growing with each passing day. You're co-creating with God. What makes you God's favorite child is the fact that you have learned how to take rest or how to slow down in life. You are in no rush of achieving something in a particular or a given timeline. You have stopped, I would say, limiting yourself with these timelines. Maybe you've reached that phase or place in your life where you're no more concerned about timelines. And if you've not reached this stage yet, trust me, in the coming months, probably within 4 months from whenever you're watching this reading, you will feel this energy in your aura around you, where you will feel very calm and contented with wherever you are in life. You will rather choose to take regular breaks. You will choose to travel. You will choose to take mini vacations. You will choose to just seclude yourself from the world and spend some time with yourself so that you can go within, so that you can understand yourself in a better manner. And this need or this urge to do some self-reflection is what makes you God's favorite child. Because the more amount of time you're spending with yourself in self-reflection, in self-development, it is making you a better version of yourself. You're slowly realizing what your true potential is. And understanding all of this is only possible when we spend time with our own selves. It'll never happen when you have a lot of people around you. It'll never happen when you have even one person around you 24/7. It is only going to happen when you will take out some hours from your day and spend it just in your own energy with yourself. And you probably have been doing that. And if you haven't reached this place, again, I would like to mention, you will. And this switch is going to happen very smoothly. You might not even realize it. For some of you, you have improved your routine. You've added more discipline to your everyday life. You've started sleeping on time. You've started taking care of yourself in a better manner. You've started eating healthier. You've started catering to your mind, body, and spirit. And this is what makes you God's favorite child. Now, why these little things are making you God's favorite child is because you're working towards self-development. You are pouring into your own cup. And the more you're going to pour into yourself, the better version you're going to become of your own self. And it is then that you'll be able to achieve whatever you want to achieve in life. I mean, we all have goals, we all have dreams, aspirations. Everyone's goals and dreams are going to be different. But in order to achieve whatever you want to achieve for yourself, it is important for you to have more discipline in your life. It is important for you to sleep more. It is important for you to rest more. It is important for you to come in your feminine energies more. And because I can hear a lot of noise when I'm recording your pile number 1, I don't know if I'm going to get the same amount of disturbance in the other 2 piles, but then this intuitively tells me that you have a whole bunch of people, or there are a lot of noises or voices around you that try to distract you from your soul purpose. But now you're pulling yourself out of these distractions and you are choosing to spend that time with yourself. And this is what makes you God's favorite child, because now you're understanding what or who to prioritize, and you're not wasting your energy unnecessarily. You're conserving your energy. This conservation might not make sense right now, but it is going to pay off beautifully in the future. You are God's favorite child because you are in touch with your emotions, because you are in touch with your feminine energy, because you do not look down upon vulnerability. You know how to embrace emotions. You know how to embrace feelings. You know how to be expressive. You're okay when it comes to crying. You're comfortable with it. You don't see that as a weakness. Rather, you see it as a strength. You have been through a lot in your life. A lot has happened to break you down, but you've picked yourself up beautifully. You have transformed your pain into your power. The kind of energy that you've transmuted, I mean, from darkness to light, people should look up to you as to how beautifully you've transformed over time. You've not let your circumstances or the world harden you up. You've rather become softer. Okay, there's a beautiful soft quality to you where there's a lot of kindness to your personality. There is a lot of, I would say, empathy to you. Just because people have wronged you doesn't mean that you're going to wrong people. Doesn't mean you're going to treat people the same way. And this is why God loves you. This is why God is proud of you. This is what makes you God's favorite child, that you have chosen to remain soft irrespective of your circumstances or whatever you've been through. The world has tried to make you someone who doesn't give a dime about people. But you do give a dime about people in general. And that is probably because you know how it feels. You know how it feels when nobody understands you. You know how it feels when people disappoint you. You know how it feels when people sideline you. You know how it feels when nobody believes in you. You do not want other people to experience that feeling of nobody gets me, that feeling of what do I do with myself? What do I do with life? Where do I begin from? You've seen a lot of hardships in your life. But the way you've carried yourself, I mean, there's so much of grace to you, pile number one, and this is what makes you God's favorite child. For some of you, you love animals. The way you love animals, the way you treat animals, the way you cater to them, the way, your motherly side comes out whenever you are with or around animals, irrespective of your gender. This is what makes you God's favorite child. Because animals are godly creatures. They are meant to be loved. They are meant to be taken care of. They are meant to be adored. You do that. The way you take care of trees, plants, animals, the people around you, your motherly side is very, very beautiful, regardless of what your gender is, pile number one. At the end of the day, you have a huge heart. Doesn't really matter what you show on the outside. You might come across as somebody who is very free-spirited, lives in their own world, doesn't really care about the world or the people around you, but the reality is opposite of that. It's just that you have boundaries. And it's good. As an empath, as somebody who's so emotional, who has such a big heart, who's so pure-hearted, you got to have boundaries. Otherwise, people are going to walk all over you. And this is something that you've learned over time. This is something that you've learned out of your failed relationships or whatever experiences you've had over time. But the thing is, this is what makes you you. And this is why you're God's favorite child, because you're so kind, you're so gentle, you're so feminine, you are so motherly, you are such a beautiful soul. There is so much of purity to you, pile number one. And I just feel God is very, very possessive about you. And this is one of the reasons that you often end up getting whatever you're demanding God for, because you're doing God's work on planet Earth. Whatever bits and pieces you keep on doing here and there, however you're contributing to raising the vibrations of this planet, it is your kindness that is kind of, making God provide you with everything that your heart truly desires. You're God's child, okay? We all are. But then there is this beautiful connect that you have with whichever deity you pray to, where I'm just getting this, I'm just getting this, that God don't play about me. And this is for you. God actually doesn't play about you. God is really, really very possessive when it comes to you. And that is only because you are very righteous. That is because you are extremely authentic. And it is your authenticity that is kind of creating or paving your path towards wherever you want to go in life, whatever you want to achieve, whatever you want to acquire in terms of the material goods, needs, luxuries, comforts, whatsoever for that matter. What makes you God's favorite child is how loyal you are. Yeah? There's this beautiful energy to you, pile number 1, where you are very loyal in your connections, in your relationships, and in general also. There is this loyalty to you, there's this integrity to you. You do not associate yourself with people out of an agenda or an intent to get something from them. You are with them because you want to be with them. And this is rare. This is very rare in today's world. The way you pour into your close connections, into your relationships, into your friendships, I mean, you are a beautiful, beautiful giver. That is why we've got boundaries also, because you have been a giver all your life. And maybe you always have, you've just been pouring into other people's cups and feeling depleted at the end of the day. And this has recently kind of changed, or you have been working towards making this change so that you do not end up feeling depleted. Whatever the case be, I just want to tell you, pile number 1, that do not change yourself. Yes, boundaries are very important, but the way you love, it's very, very rare. And whosoever is going to get the opportunity to experience your love, be it romantic or platonic, that person is very, very, very lucky. Whosoever has you in their life is very lucky. Because you are a beautiful soul, genuinely I'm telling you. And this is what makes you God's favorite child. You're God's favorite child, but the thing is that, again, I just want to keep on repeating or, just reiterating this, that you've not let the world pollute you. You've not let this 3D dynamic make you into a bully or, you're pure, you're untouched, you're very raw. And how beautiful it is to stay raw in a world that is here to just, I don't know. It's a weird feeling to explain. Might sound that it's such an average quality to have and stuff like that, but no, it's very, very, very rare. I mean, of course, everyone should be like this, but then very few are, and you are one of them. And that is why God really loves you. That is why you're God's favorite child. You're an earth angel for some of you, okay? You're definitely an earth angel. You're also God's favorite child because you know how to work with energies. Okay? You should meditate or pray more, I would suggest, because the more you're going to meditate, the more you're going to spend time in prayer, the better your connect with God is going to become. Because whenever you are meditating or you are, doing something, maybe just doing some kind of offerings for God, or doing any mantras, or chanting mantras, doing yoga, or just doing an activity where you're able to connect with that godly energy, please do more of these activities, because the more you're going to indulge in such activities, the better you'll be able to channel messages directly from the deity whosoever you pray to. Okay? So overall, God wants to let you know that God is very, very proud of you, and you are God's favorite child because of how pure of a soul you have. Alright, this is where I'd like to end your reading, pile number 1. I hope you liked your reading. If you did, please like, share, comment and subscribe. Turn the notification bell on so that whenever I post next, you get notified. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, you can do that via Instagram and email. The details for both is in my description box below. I'll catch up with you in the next reading. See ya! Hi pile number 2, welcome to your reading. So let's just figure out, why are you God's favorite child? We have Nandi the Bull, Strength and Resilience. 4 of Cups upright. Star Mother, that says, how can you mother yourself? Spirit of the South. Soak in a bath. And here we have the World. Okay. Now pile number 2, some of you could be Shiv Bhaks. You could have recently visited a Shiv temple. You could have seen something in your dreams around Shivji. Okay. And I very strongly feel that you have the blessings of Shivji with you, and Shivji is working with you very, very, very closely. Okay, you are a very special child of Mahadev, and you're being highly, highly protected. Okay, if you feel that you are alone or there's nobody to support you, you are absolutely wrong. I mean, you have his support. You do not need anybody else in your life. Okay, if you are someone who wants to connect with the energies of Mahadev, with the energies of Lord Shiva, you are being encouraged to do so, because you have his blessings. And my heart is full at this point of time. I mean, there's so much of love and warmth that I can feel around my heart center. It's like, you are Shivji's child. And he just wants to embrace you and tell you that I got your back. You can relax. I'm there. Now coming to your reading, why are you God's favorite child? Whatever I have channeled right now might or might not resonate with everybody. So if it doesn't resonate with you, please leave it for somebody else. You are God's favorite child because you are very, very, very strong. Okay? You're very strong. You have that attitude of, I'm gonna get it done. I might take years to reach a particular goal, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to reach the end point. I will. I might take longer than anticipated, but I am going to do whatever I set my mind to. You are somebody who has a very strong willpower. You are somebody, your mind is your best friend. You have a beautiful relationship with your own mind. And the way you function in your everyday life, the way you talk to yourself, the way you get things done, the way you do not let any kind of obstacles or challenges stop you from achieving whatever you want to achieve or stop you from going wherever you want to go in life, is what makes you unbeatable. This is why you're God's favorite child, because you could very well be a beautiful manifester. I'm getting somebody using affirmations to create their life. You are that person, pile number 2. You should definitely work with scripting. Write down your affirmations or just say your affirmations out loud. Look at yourself in the mirror and you will see a lot of positive changes happening in your life. You have a very beautiful connect with your subconscious. And again, you definitely, a 10 on 10 are a hands-on manifester. Use it to your advantage. For some of you, you already are using it to your advantage, and that is why you're God's favorite child. You know, you are that person who can create something out of nothing. If I give you a piece of cloth, you will be able to make something really exquisite and designer out of it. Because you know how to create, you know how to sprinkle your magic. You're very, very creative. This is why you're God's favorite child. Because God is providing you with ingredients to make your life better, and you are using every ingredient in order to make that perfect 7-star dish. It's not that you are just living in your world, not giving any importance to whatever's happening around you. No. You are in sync with the universe. Because you are in sync with the universe is why you are able to move forward in life. You have the potential to achieve something really huge in your life. I'm telling you today, please note down this date whenever you're watching this reading. You are going to do something in your life that is going to provide you with a platform, with fame, with recognition. At least once in your life, you will experience public recognition. I don't know if you are working towards that, but it is a part of your life purpose. I'm here to tell you that. You are God's favorite child because you're very, very hardworking. You're very hardworking. You know, you are that one pile where God has tested you a number of times. Might even be testing you right now. But you do not give up ever. You've never ever thought of, just taking any kind of shortcuts or going down that path of it's not my cup of tea and I'm going to settle with this. No. Rather, you are that person who will never ever settle with the second best thing in life because you feel that you deserve the best. So, your urge to not settle for less is why you are God's favorite child. You know your worth, you know who you are, you know what you want out of life. Yes, you might get confused here and there. Yes, you might, dwindle from time to time. That is absolutely okay. What matters is, are you going to continue doing the work or are you going to give up? You are that one person who's never going to give up. And it's by His grace. It's by the grace of God that you have so much of strength and resilience, that you're so confident, that you know how to pick yourself up. Where are you getting this strength from? Have you ever questioned yourself? You're getting this strength from whichever deity you pray to, whosoever you believe in. It's that deity who is providing you with so much of strength, with this confidence, with this zeal to, do something in life, to achieve goals, to just smash your goals and to make it big. that enthusiasm, that passion, that grit, that, that hunger for more, where is it coming from? It's coming from your deity. You're God's favorite child because you're a jack of all trades. And you are that one person who's going to change your career multiple times in this lifetime. Or you might have multiple jobs. Okay? It's not that you are only going to be associated to one field of work. No. You're either going to be doing 2 jobs at once, or you will have your business and a side hustle, or you're going to be in 9 to 5 with a side hustle. I mean, there has to be more than 2 things that you're going to be doing at once. You'll have multiple streams of income in this lifetime. Again, why? Because this is your purpose. You're good at a lot many things, and whatever you're good at, you have that ability to monetize it. And because you're such a good businessman or a businesswoman when it comes to monetizing your creative talents, is why you're God's favorite child. Because you are not, just sitting with your gifts. You're monetizing it, you're expanding, you're doing, you're just making your life better. And God is really proud of you for that. That is why you're God's favorite child, because you know how to multiply things. Because you know how to make the most of the opportunities that are presented to you by God. You might often, get bored with things also pretty quickly. But then you are not that kind of a person that you will continue doing or pouring into one career even if it has served its purpose. You are that person who's always going to look at the silver lining. You'll always find a reason behind things working out and behind things not working out. You are that kind of a person who will leave. You're simply going to leave. You're not going to hold back any negative emotion or negative memories. Rather, you'll be like, oh my God, this career has served its purpose, or this job has served its purpose, and I'm really grateful for whatever I did for this amount of time period, because this is what I actually gained from this job or this career or this opportunity. Now let me just use whatever I've gained from this experience to, let me just carry this forward to what I want to do next in life. Let's see where life takes me. So you're a risk taker. You are a risk taker, you're a visionary, and that is why you're God's favorite child. Nobody can hold you back. Even you are not going to hold yourself back ever in your life. Trust me. You might get confused, you might, have your moments of stagnancy, but it's going to be again very momentary. It's going to be very temporary for you. It's not going to hold you back for a very long time. And even if you fall, you always end up picking yourself up. That is why you're God's favorite child. You're God's favorite child because you've worked on your mother wounds. You might be that kind of a person who has some amount of difficulty in dealing with your emotions, or you might have been scared of vulnerability all your life. You might still not be very comfortable in embracing your emotions or your vulnerability, but then you are working towards it. You are allowing your heart to open up more. You're working towards healing your heart center. You're working towards taking better care of yourself. You're working towards pouring into your own cup. You're not there damaging people. Rather, you have withdrawn yourself from the world because you want to first heal yourself so that you can, add value to whosoever's life you're going to enter here onwards. And this is a beautiful energy to be in. For a lot of you, there is a lot of feminine healing that needs to take place. And you are working towards that, but you're still in the middle of it, I would say. So continue doing whatever you're doing to kind of embrace your divine feminine energy. Again, we all have feminine and masculine energies, so it doesn't really matter what your gender is. What really matters is how comfortable you are in your softness, how open and relaxed you feel in receiving. Because unless you're going to come in this receiving energy, you'll not be able to enjoy life. If you're going to be in survival mode, you'll never be able to experience the softness of life. But you are that person who has been consistently working towards this aspect of yours, because somewhere down the line you might not be, very aware of whatever you're doing technically, but on an emotional level you are working towards coming home to yourself. Yes. And it's a beautiful feeling and a beautiful energy to be in. You're God's favorite child because you are healing something that was not yours to heal. I don't know what kind of a past your mother has had, but then there is some amount of feminine trauma that is present in your lineage, and you are healing that. You are breaking down certain cycles, certain generational curses. You're clearing out karmic debts that revolves around the feminines in your lineage not being very happy on an emotional level. You're doing the work on behalf of everyone, and your ancestors are very proud of you. Your ancestors are very grateful to you. You're God's favorite child because you have that courage, because you have that sensitivity to you, because you have that emotional understanding to you, because you've allowed yourself to break down so that you can become whole again. You're God's favorite child because you're following your life purpose. And even if you do not know what your life purpose is, you're very good at understanding whatever signs or synchronicities come your way from God. You always take note down of whatever messages you're receiving from maybe tarot readings or your dream state or just people in general through music. You're very good at picking up on signs and synchronicities. And you are using it in a very productive kind of a way, where you are very open to changes, where you're very open to going wherever the universe takes you. And because you're so adaptable, as I've said before, you are always going to try your hands at multiple things in your life. This is one of your purposes. You're meant to experience, you're meant to have many experiences, that's the for sure. And that is why, because you're so adaptable, because you do not hold yourself back, is why you're God's favorite child. Because you're not limiting yourself, right? You are allowing yourself to go in whichever direction life is taking you. This doesn't mean that you do not have goals, or you're not ambitious, or you are not driven. Rather, you are one of the most resilient people that I've read for in such a long time. It's just that you're smart. You know when something has served its time, and you do not waste your time. You have this ability or quality. You are not going to fight for something because you are that person whose intuition is very strong. Intuitively, you pick up on things, on signs, on emotions, on messages, and you know that this particular job has served its purpose, or this particular friend has served their purpose in my life. You're not going to chase anybody or anything for that matter. So where you are very good at dropping things, people, situations, etc., etc., anything that is not a vibrational match to you, you're going to leave that. Your aim in this lifetime is to ascend, is to reach wherever you want to reach, and you're just gathering experiences and taking with yourself whatever is yours and leaving behind whatever belongs to the 3D world. It doesn't really matter. God really likes one thing about you, and that is how detached you are. Yes, you're God's favorite child because you have figured the art of detachment. You're very detached, even if, you're very attached when you love something or someone, the way you flip, the way you detach yourself, your ability to do that in a very effortless manner is beautiful. Really, and trust me, it is very, very difficult for people to reach that stage where they can detach and still be happy. But you are that kind of a person. And that is why you're God's favorite child. As I've said before, you're very good at taking care of yourself. You're very good at catering to your own needs. And the way you carry yourself, with or without a partner or a lot of people around you. I mean, even when you are in your own energy, you're very, very happy. You love yourself. You enjoy your own company. You're not lonely. You rather look for moments where you can spend time with yourself. And this is why you're God's favorite child, because you know how to love yourself. You know how to cater to your needs. You know how important it is to just, love yourself, to take care of yourself, to be in your own energy, to do things that make you happy. You're God's favorite child because you know how to pamper yourself also. It's not that you are just spiritually driven. You are making the most of this material world also. You know how to pamper by indulging in little things here and there. Maybe you like to shop, or you like to eat good food, or you like to, go for spas, or have your downtime in your bathtub, you soaking your feet in Epsom salt, or just, having saltwater baths, or just taking long showers, whatever it is. The way you cleanse yourself, the way you calm down, the way you cater to your feminine energy is very, very, very beautiful, and it is standing out in your reading since the beginning. And you have this beautiful balance between your feminine and masculine. Let me tell you that. Though I know that you need to work upon your feminine energies more, but for a lot of you, I feel that you have been consistently working on this energy that I'm talking about. You've been working towards your feminine side. And you are God's favorite child because you're putting in the work, because you're choosing yourself, because you're investing in yourself. The moment I started your reading, I said that it's your mindset. Whatever you set your mind to, you achieve that. And this is why you're God's favorite child. Because you genuinely can do and will do anything that you set your mind to. I'm telling you, pile 2, nothing is impossible for you. You are that one pile who can achieve whatever they set their mind to. It doesn't really matter what your aim is, what your goal is, how big it sounds to you, or how unrealistic it sounds to you. Always remember, in this universe, nothing is unrealistic or unachievable. It is the human mind, it is the human psyche that feels that, I'm asking for something that is unrealistic, or I'm asking for something that is too huge for me, or I'm asking for something that I'm not capable of handling. No. If that seed is there, if you have that urge to be able to acquire it, it means that there is some kind of connect that you have. So if you want a big house for yourself, doesn't really matter how much it costs. If you set your mind to, trust me, you'll be able to own that house. You'll be able to have that car, or you'll be able to go on a world tour, or you'll be able to, get that worldwide recognition. You are that person. I mean, please start visualizing more. You're clairvoyant. You have psychic gifts also to you. You're God's favorite child because you're an alchemist. You are an alchemist, pile number 2. And I know for a fact that you are going to go very far in your life. Trust me, And the amount of faith that I am having at this point of time while I'm channeling this message for you is the same amount of faith that you have in God and God has in you. So, you know, it's a close-knit bond that I can sense between us, where I very strongly feel that you will be able to fulfill each and every wish of yours. If there's any one individual that can stop you, it's you yourself, your mind, your thoughts. That is it. And if you manage to channelize your thoughts, your energies in a productive manner, in a constructive way, you have no idea what all you can achieve. So I'm wishing you lots and lots of luck, pile number 2. I hope you acquire everything that you want to in this lifetime. And trust me, this is your time to dream big. You're a dreamer. This is why you're God's favorite child. You're a dreamer, you're a doer. I want it, I got it. There's the song, okay? I like it, I want it, I got it. I don't really know the lyrics, okay? But then there is this kind of a song, and you were just giving me that vibe that if I really like something, I'm gonna get it, and that's about it. I do not have any other option apart from going after what I want and then getting it and fulfilling all my dreams, goals, wishes, and living my best life, because that is what I'm here to do probably. So beautiful vibes to tap into, beautiful energies to tap into. And I'm wishing you all the best, pile number 2. I hope you liked your reading. If you did, please like, share, comment and subscribe. Turn the notification bell on so that whenever I post next, you get notified. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, you can do that via Instagram and email. The details for both is in my description box below. I'll catch up with you in the next reading. See ya! Hi pile number 3, welcome to your reading. So let's just figure out, why are you God's favorite child? We have learning and teaching, Knight of Cups upright, no, Spirit Viva, Dance, and 10 of Cups. Beautiful, beautiful, very high vibrational energy, I must say, pile number 3. Out of all the piles, you are that pile whose inner child is most active and alive. You are in beautiful sync with your inner child. And you have gone through a lot in your life, let me tell you. But what makes you you, pile number 3, is that you have a very contrasting personality. There are a lot of layers to you, where on one hand you are this bubbly, giggly, happy-go-lucky, sunshine and flowers, and you know, just all the happy colors one can imagine. You are like that rainbow. And bang opposite to that, you are the wisest soul anyone can ever come across, because you are a shaman, you are an old soul, you're a healer, pile number 3. And this side of yours, people are not going to understand unless they've had a good amount of conversation, unless they've, you know, spoken to you for a good amount of time. Coming to why you're God's favorite child. You're God's favorite child because you're living your life purpose. You are here to share your wisdom with the world. You very well could be a healer. You could be a part of the healing industry already. And if you're not, you will move in this direction in the future. You could very well be an artist also. See, artists are also healers. I very strongly believe in that. Anyone who's a creative is a healer, Because when you channelize your creativity, you are creating something out of, your thoughts, your emotions, your experiences. It's very unconventional, and at the same time, it is very soothing. So this goes out to all the creators, to all the creatives, to all the artists, to the healers. Because art heals. Art heals you. A painter who paints, there's a story that that painter is telling through their art. You might see something completely different to that. But then that's where the magic happens. If I'm reading a poetry, I'm going to read it and perceive it in a different way altogether than somebody else. But that's the beauty of art. How you perceive it, how you make it yours, is what makes it so beautiful. And it's an artist who does that for you. So there's so much of depth on both the sides. On the side of the sender as well as the receiver. So why are you God's favorite child is for this reason, that you understand this depth. You understand how beautiful it is to be unconventional. How good it feels to be a misfit. You're very okay with that. You're God's favorite child because you're enlightening people through your art, through your gifts, through your creativity. You have a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom. You're also someone who has a very powerful throat chakra. You have a very powerful voice. You are probably someone who's very, very good with communication. Okay? The way you talk, the way you voice out your opinions. You have that talent or the ability to convince people. You leave a mark wherever you go. And that is probably because of your innate wisdom, because of how you channelize that wisdom, because of whatever you've been carrying with you from your past lives. You are someone who has the blessings of the entire Shiv family on you. There's some kind of a connection that you have with Shivji, Parvati-ji, Ganesh-ji, as well as the moon. You're very, very, very intuitive. You might also channel messages while looking at the moon. You're a very good manifester when it comes to you manifesting with the moon cycles. That's why I'm telling you, you're a powerful witch, you're a powerful healer, pile number 3. And that is why you're God's favorite child, because you're using all of your abilities to raise the vibrations of this planet. You're using all of your abilities to not just your advantage, but to also make the lives of the people around you easier. You are so many people's go-to person. There are so many people who look up to you. There are so many people who feel that you are their home. I'm telling you, it's a very big thing to say, but there are so many people who look up to you. There are so many people who find their refuge in you, and this is your life purpose. Yes, it could be draining because you're dealing with a lot many energies, because you're always, showing people to look at the brighter side of life, to, you are always you are that light, wherever you go, you spread your light, you spread your magic. You don't have to do a lot. It's just the way you carry yourself. It's just the way you communicate. It's just the way you use your words. You could have a very strong Jupiter, or, there is prominent Gemini that's present in your reading. Even if we take away all of this, then too I'm here to tell you, you're God's favorite child, because God couldn't be everywhere. So He placed people like you in the life of other people so that their life is easier. It's such an overwhelming feeling right now while I'm channeling this message. You're very, very special. Whosoever you pray to, you're very special to that deity. Your God loves you a lot. And nothing was given to you on a platter. You have crumbled down. You have experienced the dark night of the soul. You've been hurt in life. You have managed to transmute your darkness into light. It took work, and you did that work. That is why you're God's favorite child. Because you chose to rise from the ashes. Because you chose to be that beam of light, that beacon of light, so that others do not have to struggle the way you did. Because it's not everybody's cup of tea to process darkness. It's not. And this doesn't make you a better person. Let me just tell you that. It's not that here we are not comparing. You are the catalyst. Okay? And it's through you where a lot of changes people are going to experience in their lives that is for their betterment. And you are not doing anything. It is God who's working through you. You're just a medium for that. And you are that person who actually realizes this also. I do not sense ego. I do not sense pride in your energies. I sense a lot of awareness. I sense a lot of humility. I sense a lot of humbleness to you, pile number 3. You're God's favorite child because you're delusional. And you probably know that it is where the magic happens. It is how you make things work in your favor. You might be very romantic or very flamboyant in love or in the way you express yourself. There's something about you where you're very expressive. You're very, maybe I would say, caricaturish also, where you use your hands a lot, or the way you emote. There's a lot of cuteness and a lot of dreaminess to you at the same time. There's one part of you that is so wise, that is like an 80-year-old granny. And the other part of you is just like a baby, like that naughty child who keeps on chasing flowers and butterflies and whatnot. So that is why you're God's favorite child, because your essence is still alive. You are alive. You're not just living in a human body. You're thriving. You're not just merely existing. You're experiencing things. You're catching moments. You're making memories. You are that person who can even find happiness in that cup of coffee. There's so much of gratitude that is present to your energies. And this is why you're God's favorite child. And this is one of the reasons that you will forever be blessed with the materialistic goods in life and the luxuries, the pleasures, whatever you want to name it. And that is because even when you did not have anything, your heart was still full of love and gratitude. You never compared your journey to that of anybody else. You always had space for, you always had that in you, that I'm so damn grateful for the beautiful life that I have. And because you've been so genuine, is why you're going to be blessed throughout. Trust me on that. You'll never have to search for anything anywhere else. You'll always be supported. Always. Now, it's up to God as to how God is going to support you. But God will never, ever, ever let you fail or just, lose your plot. You're God's favorite child because you're very, very imaginative. You're very imaginative and you're very creative. I think I've said that you're very creative. Yes, I know, I did. Yes, you are very, very creative, pile number 3. And the thing is that, you're so damn different also. You're very unique. You're not like everybody else. You're never ever going to do what everybody else is doing. You're always going to do something very different from the rest of the world. And that is why you're God's favorite child. It's very difficult to manipulate you. It's very difficult to control you. It's very difficult to gaslight you. You're going to give it back. You understand these games. And you have a voice of your own. You have your own opinions. You have your way of looking at the world. Now, this doesn't mean that you're not going to consider other people's perspective, but you're not going to be swayed by that. It's very difficult to sway you. That's why I said it's very difficult to control or manipulate you. And that is why you're God's favorite child, because, it is because of this quality or trait of yours that you have been able to save yourself from a lot many messy situations. Okay? You're God's favorite child because you know how to say no. Because you're not afraid to say no. Because you're not afraid of being the person who's not liked by everybody. Again, because you're different. You do not mind waiting for things to come to you. You do not settle for something that everyone is settling with. If you want something, you are very patient about it. You're okay. You're okay if you have to wait for it. You are not that kind of a person. See, for example, I'll just throw a random example your way. For example, you're someone who's single, okay? And you are looking for a partner who's going to be crazily, madly, deeply in love with you, who's going to be very devoted to you, who's going to be just all yours, extremely loyal, okay? You are looking for a partner who has all of these qualities. And the kind of guys or the women that you're meeting, they are all extremely disappointing because nobody is looking for something that has some kind of value. People are not on the lookout for love in a very, I would say, godly kind of a way. But you are very different. You will choose to remain single rather than exploring and meeting people who are simply going to waste your time, who are going to deplete you emotionally, who are going to disturb you spiritually, okay? Because people don't realize, but giving somebody your time and your energy can either work for you or it can work against you. Now imagine pouring into somebody who is a sucker for good vibes. You're going to be left with nothing. So all in all, what I wanted to say out of this entire example was simply that you do not mind being single for a good amount of 5, 6, 8 years also, if you're not getting the man or the woman of your choice or your caliber or whatever you're looking for. You're not going to settle for less. You would rather choose to remain single rather than mingling with somebody that serves you no good. And that is why I just feel like saying that God is proud of you. God is proud of you for being selective. And this could be you being selective in any area of your life. Love is something that just came very naturally, so I gave that example. But you are that kind of a person, you do not mind waiting for your time to come. You do not mind waiting for things that you really want in life. You don't mind delays. You don't mind rejections or redirections because you know how the universe works. And because of your faith, you have blind faith in God. And that is why you're God's favorite child. You never question God. You might feel a bit upset or dejected from time to time if you do not get what you really want. But your last resort is this only, that you know what? If I did not get something, it might not be the right time for me to receive it, or it might not be, the right thing or the right person for me. So let me just leave it to God. Let me just allow the higher power to take over. That is why God is so, so, so very proud of you. You know how to enjoy life. See, I've told you before that you have a very active inner child, okay? And you are the life of the party, pile number 3, okay? It's very, very difficult to judge you. It's very difficult to understand how deep of a person you are. And the mystery that you have to your personality is why God is proud of you. You're not there doing your propaganda that look at me, or you're not that person who wants people to just, who wants attention. You're not that kind of a person. You're very, very comfortable in your skin. You're very confident in what you bring to the table. You know how capable you are. You know who you are. And in spite of being so wise, so knowledgeable, and so just in sync with the universe, you still manage to make the most of your cuteness. You know how to be silly. You know how to be light. You know how to be like that sunflower. You might like sunflowers, or there's something about you that is wanting me to, just call you a sunflower, because you really are. You are that person who's going to dance in that sunflower field. There are very high chances that, you like to dance also. You're a very good dancer. God really, really enjoys when you enjoy yourself, when you are, out loud living your life unapologetically, laughing loudly, having the time of your life, singing at the top of your voice. Doesn't really matter how you sound while you're singing, and just dancing for yourself, dancing with your friends, just enjoying life. You're God's favorite child because you know how to enjoy life. I'm again telling you, it's very difficult to have so much of wisdom and knowledge and yet be so light-hearted, carefree, and your happiness in human form. Such a happy-go-lucky kind of an energy. I mean, whosoever experiences you, pile number 3, it's very difficult to replace you. It's very difficult to even replicate you. You are you. You are uniquely you. And that is why you're God's favorite child. You teach people how to live life, how to thrive in life, how to just enjoy life to the fullest. And yet, keep your morals intact. Have integrity. Maintain your dignity. You are that package who is the best of both the worlds. And that is why God is really, really proud of you. And that is also probably what makes you God's favorite child. You're very optimistic. Your outlook on life is so, so, so positive. I know people talk about toxic positivity, but with you, it works. Might not work with everybody, but trust me, with you, it works. You show people how important it is to be optimistic in life. How magic happens. Because you are a magical beam of light. You are that walking ray of hope and sunshine for the people around you. Even strangers for that matter. You shift the energy. Whenever you enter any room, people look at you. People will obviously and always notice you. You will always stand out from the crowd. That is because of your energy. That is because of how in touch you are with your inner child and your higher self at the same time. That is because of the amount of work that you have done. God is really proud of you and loves you. Again and again, I'm getting this message that God is really proud of you. Okay, though we are looking into why are you God's favorite child, but time and again I feel like saying that, you know, God is really proud of you, and that is probably because God is proud of you. You are God's favorite child because you know how to bring people together, you know how to keep people intact. Okay, you are a very family oriented person. You are that, I would say, that child in your family or your friend circle who uplifts the vibe. Okay, if people are laughing, they are probably laughing because you are there, because of your presence, because you're so light. In all circumstances, pile number 3, see, I just want to tell you that you're a beautiful soul. Forget everything else at this point of time. I just want to tell you that you are a beautiful, beautiful soul. And that is because, I mean, you know how to live life. You know how to fall in love with your life. If there's one person on this planet who people should look up to in order to kind of, you know, take inspiration as to how should I be living my life or how should I be operating in my everyday life, it is you. You make the mundane look extraordinary. And it is because of this that you're so happy in your life. You're very, very, very contented, pile number 3. And trust me, I feel privileged to read for you. I'm not going to lie, I'm not gassing you up. I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart because there's so much to learn from you. There is so much to, I just feel that I can keep on appreciating you for a good amount of 2-3 hours even now, because you deserve all the praise. You deserve it. God loves you because you genuinely are such a beautiful person to be around. Such a beautiful person. You bring people together. You know, you are a love beam. If there's one word that I'd like to give you, it's love. Who or what is pile number 3? Pile number 3 is love. They are made of love. They are love. Wherever they go, they spread love. So much of sunshine, so much of positivity. And God is really proud of you, okay? Again, see, I'm getting this message so damn strongly. You're God's favorite child because you have managed to make God proud. What else do you want? You are. You're so dear to whichever deity you pray to. You're so dear to that deity, genuinely. And you know, pile number 3, you are a beautiful manifester. Whatever you want in life, be it wealth, be it love, be it clients, be just anything, beauty, whatever you want out of life, you have the ability to have all of that. And that is going to come to you. I'm telling you today, it's going to come to you because of your vibrations, because of how highly you vibrate. You know, you've managed to kind of make your strengths into your asset. We all have strengths, we all have weaknesses. The best thing about you is that you're aware of your strengths and your weaknesses. You know how you can work around your weaknesses, and you know how you can convert your strength into something that is going to just make your life even better. You do the same with your weaknesses also, let me tell you that. And you are very, very strong. Mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. You're a very balanced person. And that is why you're God's favorite child. You know how to maneuver. You know how to shape shift. Okay? You know how to be a chameleon when the need be. It's not that you're fake. You're not at all. You'll be the last person. But then you just know how to make the most of your present moment. And because there's so much of gratitude that is present to your present, is why you're so blessed. Huge respect, lots and lots of love for you, pile number 3. And let me know who you are. And if you liked your reading, then please do like, share, comment and subscribe. Turn the notification bell on so that whenever I post next, you get notified. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, you can do that via Instagram and email. The details for both is in my description box below. I'll catch up with you in the next reading. See ya!